Okay, so today's video we are going to compare human eye with a photo camera, and we're comparing similarities and differences. Okay, so which is very important to view human eye as a camera, and what are the similarities with a photo camera, and what are the dissimilarities, or definitely differences. Okay, let's move. First, similarities. Both camera and the real eye detect which type of image? Real image, because real image is only can be projected on the screen. For eye, it is screen is a retina, and for definitely camera is photographic film, and now digital boards. And in eye we have iris to control the light, isn't it? But in case of photograph, there is a aperture stop, which is physically made aperture stop. We have already discussed about it, but here definitely iris uh, controls the lights, definitely contraction and dilatation of iris, which work as a black aperture, isn't it? But in case of camera, it uses aperture stop. Okay, this is the comparison. And another similarity is camera focus is achieved by repositioning optical element. So in case of camera, optical element can be changed, and position of the optical element, basically lenses, are changed so that focus and defocus is achieved. But in case of eye, it's basically shifting of a refractive element is impossible. Is it possible? No, not at all. And what is possible is change in refractive power by changing the curvature of crystalline lens surface, especially which surface? Especially front surface, isn't it? So this is the mechanism of accommodation in eye, and mechanism of accommodation in camera is basically changing, repositioning the optical element, isn't it? So this so similar to see similar type of image, which is inverted real image in retina here in eye, in photographic film here, and aperture stop, which is lies in the camera, and here definitely our iris is aperture stop. Optical element, these there are 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are a lot of cameras, and here optical system, one cornea and one lens, and accommodation is shift of these lenses in case of camera. But in our eyes, it front surface especially, definitely accommodation, which is change in radius of curvature of lens, but especially front surface of the lens, isn't it? Okay, this is the comparison. So now compare it. So cornea and lens is a refractive element, and compound lenses is a refractive element in case of photograph. And focusing mechanism, here we have accommodation. Focusing mechanism especially changing the position of the lens in case of camera. In case of camera, there is analog classical films in old generation, and now CCD and CMOS sensors, current generation. In our eyes, it's retina, isn't it? So the function is basically image capture, record, and conversion photoelectric signal, both in our eyes, and focusing of images for upper layer. Now cones and rods, so basically act as a silver halide in old generation in semiconductor elements, which what it does, so basically it does the capture of the light and convert it to the photoelectric signals. So retinal pigmented epithelium, what it does the minimization of scattering of light, isn't it? Yes, definitely. So another point is aperture stop is used here. Here iris is used to definitely reduces the, which helps to controlling image intensity. Okay, and definitely for depth of field, diffraction, and aberrations too. So light adaptation, so it's the function of eye, and dark light linked interior ISO, modulation of sensitivity and image intensities. These all things are comparable in camera and eyes, but there are a lot of differences. Let's discuss about differences. First and foremost, it's very important to understand eye is sensitive to very limited range of frequencies, which is basically 380 to 760, and in between these 380 to 76, we know the 555 is most sensitive. LOA screen 555 nanometer is most sensitive. So it's sensitive to relatively small range of wavelengths, but also it's not the similar for this 380 to 760. It's like distribution, and most peak sensitive is 555, nanometer, which is very important. But in case of photographic and photonic sensitivity, sometimes it's up to infrared, and it's not like that. There is one is more sensitive and another is not. Yes, definitely there is few case we can make, but it's not like that in case of photographic camera. And another, see, in our eyes it's limitation of axial length and the range of aperture stop diameter, isn't it? We cannot do our aperture stop, that is pupil, larger than 8 and 9 mm. Is it possible? No, axial length is limited, isn't it? So the two critical factor which affects the amount of light collection. But in case of photographic camera, it's not. It's far more unlimited than our human eyes. So basically aperture stops can be made in a different sizes, isn't it? Yes. So the another difference, the eye cannot actually change the lens, can it? Oh yes, definitely. Refractive surgery or cataract surgery, we change the lens, but that's not the case. We change the lens for accommodation or for incorporating a lot of information. This is not the case, is it? We cannot change. We only can change uh, front surface curvature with our wheeling, but it's not uh, covering a lot of power, can it? It is not. So we cannot actually shift lens. But in case of photographic camera, we freely design and interchanges lenses, thereby we have broad range of available field of view and magnification. But in our eyes it's not possible. So another difference, with the eye we recognize new image. This is the visual perception stuff, isn't it? We cannot recognize if the image is shifting so fastly, like 10 images per second. That's why we can enjoy the movie, isn't it? Movie just like shifting the images in very rapid manner. But in case of photographic camera, that's not a problem. So you can see, okay, can you imagine? You just put your iPhone there and it can take like days long video, and it can incorporate in minutes long, isn't it? So that's not the case in case of camera, but it's a case of in case of our eyes, our visual system, and our brain. Definitely it cannot comprehend so fast moving images. So we cannot maintain the exact copy of images, can we? Our memory is so volatile, isn't it? But that's not the case of photographic. It can exactly do the copies. And the last, which is very, it again we come to visual perception. The human vision, the wider field, is not simultaneously censored with the same sharpness and at the narrowed center field. Our maximum visual field, clear visual field, is about 5 degrees, which is which is corresponding to macula. And as you move from macula to away, it's getting blurry and blurry and blurry, isn't it? But that's not case of the camera is uniform large field of view with a sharpness and brightness too. But in our visual system it's not at all the case. Our visual system only covers sharp visual field up to 5 degree, which is corresponding to macula, and sharpest at foveola, which is around approximately at 1 degree visual field. And magnification also, we have cortical magnification, which is way higher, up to I think around 800 times magnification in case of exactly fovea. But the magnification decreases as we move away from fovea to another place, which is definitely the point of visual perception. And I know we will make visual perception video, I think after 6 months or 7 months. But that's the difference, okay? So finally, the camera and eye has similarity and differences. You must understand how that similarity and differences works, so that you can analyze it, and so that you can think eye as a camera, and so that you can at the same time think eye as not as a camera, because eye has a visual system and eye completely depend on our brain, because eye is only where images form and electric signals uh, generated in retina actually interpreted in brain. So there are similarities, at the same time huge differences, so you must understand both things, okay? Today I have taken only one reference, one of the beloved professor, Professor Dr. George S. Melich, and this is the only book I have taken. Okay, Bistan, choose.